The public health crisis that unfolded at St. Luke's Methodist Primary School on Tuesday ended with 31 students being hospitalized at the KHMH. This was after they began experiencing marijuana intoxication from mistakenly consuming cannabis edibles. Among them were 2 children, including a 4-year-old, who were stricken by the effects of the drug.
The 2 that were admitted actually had huge doses that were taken in. One was actually eating it from the day before, felt ill, and stayed at home and then continued to eat yesterday. So ended up being admitted.
A majority of those who were taken in for emergency medical attention were treated and released on the same day. However, both boys were kept overnight for further observation.
The other kid that was admitted, the mom told me this morning, he's the dirt in the class because he brought it and he spread it, he shared with everybody. And so not only was he admitted, but all his friends went to A&E with him. But because they were bigger kids and they didn't eat as much, they actually were released yesterday, but he actually had to remain.
Chief Executive Officer Chandra Cansino later confirmed that a total of 31 children and 7 adults were hospitalized on Tuesday after exhibiting symptoms consistent with intoxication. This afternoon, the Minister of Home Affairs explained to the media how the confiscated sweets ended up in the hands of street vendors.
It is an issue that originated, as I understand it, with the Customs Department, who turned over the suspected cannabis. I think at the point of entry, it was classified as suspected cannabis edibles, turned it over to the anti-narcotics unit, who thereafter turned it over to the exhibit keeper. Vision of discarding the product that was confiscated by the Customs Department. And as I understand it, he is saying to the police that he discarded it because of the scent that it was giving off within the exhibit room. Because as I understand it, he discarded it at the dump on the Western Highway, at which point individuals who were at the dump site found the discarded material and thereafter took it to the children and sold it to the children at the school.
It's an unfortunate incident that speaks directly to an individual decision taken by the exhibit keeper to dispose of the drug-laced food items in that manner, despite the candies being thrown away at the Belize City transfer station. Earlier today, Minister of Education Francis Fonseca also discussed the occurrence.
I think this highlights the need for us to have a more effective policy on school vendors. We tend to have a very lax approach to school vendors. Every school decide, who wants to sell. Some vendors are selling on the campus. The schools say, no, you can't come on the campus, but you can sell outside at the school gates. I think it's important for us to recognize and acknowledge that where those loopholes exist in terms of those school vendors, all of us will have to work together, the schools, Ministry of Education, City Council, and the Ministry of Health, the people who actually certify these food handlers certificates, to see if there are any loopholes there, and if there are, how can we close them and address them.
Back at the Carl Hughton Memorial Hospital, the experience inside the accident and emergency unit, according to Dr. Cecilia Eck, was quite bizarre.
When I went into the emergency room, initially there were about 12, 15 kids in varying degrees of, I'll say, stupor. Some were very obtunded, not breathing, or having difficulty breathing. We had some who were agitated. We had some who were trembling. All of them seemed very out of it, or drunk-like. So that was the situation that I went into.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.